First of all, uh, Morgan getting named Pitcher of the Week this week. I know it kind of seemed like maybe she'd get it several times this year. Just what do you think about her finally getting a little bit of recognition?
Well, I'm just happy for her. I think she's earned it. And there are maybe a couple times I felt like she could have and should have gotten it. I just think she pitched well enough to get her name in that conversation. I know she's had to have been in that conversation. And so for her to get it, I just thought it was huge. I mean, she likes it. She doesn't pitch for it. That's not her thing. She just wants to win. But she's done so well for us. It's nice for her to get that recognition for sure.
Yeah, and then I wanted to ask about Hannah Gamma a little bit. Just her hit, she's hitting better in conference right now than she did out of conference. Just what have you seen from her that's allowed her to maybe just elevate, once the competition's maybe gotten a little bit not tougher, just more pressure?
I think it's mostly just about her. I think it's getting her in the right mindset of, what information she needs, what she needs to look for, all of those things, and then what's going to make her be her best. And when she's her best, she's her freest. Like she's free. She's, just reacting. And so it's just making sure that in our process, we're doing what we need to get her in that spot. And she's hands-on with that as well. So, I think she's an elite hitter. I think she doesn't matter the competition. She has the ability to punish. And so it's just getting her in the mindset for that.
Yeah, and then you mixed up the lineup just all season a lot. It seems like kind of just based on maybe the way people are hitting or matchups or whatever. But it seems like the players are taking it well, maybe whenever they don't play one day and they're in the lineup the next day. I think Nia was maybe the latest example of that. Just how do you think that the team's done, just taking that like and responding, I guess, the next time that they are in the lineup?
Well, I think they've handled it well. If everybody wants to play every game. And so when you have a roster of, 24, 25, there's 24, 25 that want to play every game. And it's not feasible. We're really strong throughout. And we have, if you look at our breakdown, I think we have 11 or 12 that have had a lot of at bats. And so a lot of it's going to be matchup and it could be really easy to be selfish or, pout or like, oh, my name's not in there and I'm going to be really down because I want to play. And it's just about the team. And so I do think that they've handled it well. They've handled it well. Everybody wants to be out there, but it's just now when their name's called, when it's their turn, they're ready. And we have really great players, no matter who we put in there.
Dudley?
Talk a little bit about South Carolina, obviously 4-8 in conference play, but they're a really good team, and everybody y'all play in the SEC seems to have a ranking beside them. Just talk about how tough the SEC is and about maybe South Carolina's better than the record.
The SEC is insanely tough throughout. I don't ever look at the record of SEC teams because I think it has no bearing on who they are or what they do or how good they are. And I don't look at the number either. So I don't even know where we are right now. But I look at South Carolina and they just pitch the heck out of it. They have really, really strong pitching. They're a really like feisty team, really gritty team. They play really good defense. And so I didn't know their record until you just said it. It's not a concern to me. We're just trying to figure out how to win tomorrow. And we know that we're going to have to grind offensively and we can't give anything up on our defensive side. They're going to try to create havoc. They like to put offense in motion. They like to do a lot of those things. And so we have to make sure that we shore up our side and make sure that everything they get, they earn.
You may have not looked at the number, but you are trending upward. How much fun is it to coach this team right now?
It is fun. It is fun. This group has been really fun. They've been challenging. They've been all of the things, but what they've done is that they've committed to consistently growing. And some days it's tougher than others. But I still think that this team is trending up. I think we're starting to click. I think everything's coming together. And I think our best softball is still ahead of us. And that's the most exciting thing as we're getting into the back part of our season. I think that we're still getting to our best version, and we're closer than ever to it.
You've had unreal success on the road. Talk about what are the biggest, factors when you go on the road. I would guess pitching is always one of them, but talk about just the factors that have allowed y'all to have this success on the road y'all have lately.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a secret recipe. I don't, if it is, I wish I could bottle it up and keep it. But this team's and most of our teams haven't been concerned about being on the road. That's softball. It's just going in and just trying to take care of business and taking it one pitch at a time, one inning at a time, one game at a time. And so that's what they've done really, really well on the road is going in and just really focusing on what we need to do. And it's very much a business trip for them. It's going, and just staying who we are. And when we went to Georgia, that was one of the best environments we've played in. It was really loud, that you feel like they're on top of you. You're digging in against, a team that's number 3 at the time. And it just fueled them. They just continued to elevate their level. And so I don't know. I don't know if it's what it is, but they're comfortable on the road and I like it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Evan?
Yeah, Coach. First of all, good morning. Second,
Morning.
you were at Coach Cal's presser yesterday. What'd you think of that?
I thought it was awesome. It was fun. It's a lot of my favorite people all in one spot. So you get to kind of see everybody and it was a really exciting day for Razorback athletics. But in the midst of, I got to take trips. So I took my oldest, my 8-year-old. And so in the midst of catching up with everyone and seeing everyone, I hadn't taken the moment to just look around and soak it all in. And I think I looked back to talk to maybe Coach Neighbors or someone. And that's when I really looked at, the stands and how full they were. And it was awesome. It was an incredible welcome for him. And a really exciting day for Razorback athletics. And it was really cool to be a part of, but I'm just thrilled that he's chosen to join our crew here. We have a really, really awesome crew of coaches. And I think that was the first thing is who are we going to get? Because we have a really great crew of coaches, and then sitting there and listening to him and just kind of hearing not the type of coach he is, but just the type of guy he is. I'm excited that he is, he's joining our department and our Razorback family.
And you kind of touched on the atmosphere there yesterday, but the atmosphere even at Bogle this weekend was awesome. What did you think of just the fan support week in and week out? When I think it was 38 that was there this weekend.
Yeah, our fan support has been tremendous, and it just continues to show up and grow. And I think that it's a difference maker. I think we have one of the best atmospheres, if not the best atmosphere in college softball, just with how they just surround our field, and how close they can be to the field, and how loud, how loyal they are to our players, how they support them. It's just been awesome. It's been incredible. I think we have such a great venue for it, and the energy they bring is electric.
Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Eric?
Has the invite to Coach Cal to come out to a softball game, throw a first pitch, has that happened yet?
It hasn't. I don't know if you've noticed, he has quite a bit of recruiting to do. So I do think that has to be priority. But hopefully we can get him out here at some point. I know he's leaves today, I think, to go get a big award in Vegas or something. And then I would imagine he'll hit the recruiting trail very hard.
Maybe you say so, but going to Bogle should be right there. Recruiting.
I would
Bogle.
think it's his award and recruiting are 1A, 1B, and then Bogle's probably 1C. It's probably right there. Right there.
That's pretty good. Very good. How's your pitching staff? I know you've had to deal with some injuries and bumps. Are you close to 100% where you want to be from a pitching staff, health-wise, everything? Where are you at right now?
I wouldn't say we're 100%, but I think that we're as close to that as we've been in weeks. So I think you can see a little bit of the tension no, I'm just kidding. Our staff's done a great job although being thin, they've done a great job of just competing for us and giving us a chance. And our whole team has stepped up to just give them a chance to get better. and be patient with that and allowing us to be conservative. And so I think Rob's in a really great place. I think she's still working to be back to 100% game, and just being in that mindset. And I'm just so proud of her grind and her commitment to her process of getting that back, and her patience and her grace in that. And then Reese is getting really close, which is just really, really nice. I think that the thing that is the hardest through that tough time is that when you lose a Robin or Reese, you lose the different looks of the staff, the pitchers that round out the staff. And so the rest of the staff, the team stepped up huge. But when we get them back, when we get Rob back, it makes the whole staff better. When we get Reese back, it makes the whole staff better, and it makes the whole staff complete. And so we're closer than ever, and I'm really encouraged and optimistic about where we are.
You faced Elena Vaughter back in 21 in the regionals there when you beat them to win that regional in Fayetteville regional against Stanford. How much different is she now today than she was that young Vaughter that you faced versus now?
Well, very different. I mean, that feels like a lifetime ago. I would imagine she would say the same thing. It's a lifetime ago, and she has, she's a veteran. She's a seasoned veteran. So she's an incredible competitor. She has been her entire career. She has elite stuff. And she was very, very good then. And now she has a few more years under her belt of experience. And there's nothing that makes you better than just experience. And so she's in that spot, and she's very, very good at what she does.
I remember that regional. Mary Half won that game. She was last weekend on the opposite dugout with Missouri. Now that it happened, was it strange to see her in the other dugout? What was the feelings like for you? Because for me, it was weird, because I've told you this in interviews in the past. She's my favorite Razorback of all the players you've coached. So for me, it was kind of like I always take a step back. How was it for you?
It was odd seeing her back in black and yellow. It was pretty great that her parents surprised her. They were still repping the hog, so I liked that. So, it's just great to have them back in any capacity. So I will say that, like, it's just great to have her back. It's great to have her on the coaching side. It's great to have her so excited to be back. And like, just to have our former players so excited to be back and so proud of our program and playing here. I mean, she's just had a tremendous impact on this program. And so it was cool. I don't think we've fared very well in our welcome back, like Mary Half Day, Daniel Gibson Horton Day. I'm pretty sure we're 0-2 in those days. So we'll immediately stop that immediately. No one's welcome. No, I'm just kidding. But it's one of those days where it's just, it's giving her an honor that she deserves and has deserved. And so getting to celebrate that and welcome back is pretty cool. But it was an awesome weekend out here welcoming back former players. And, Braxton Burnside came back with her little one. Shanice Stels was back. Hannah McEwen was back and on the call. Just having that crew come back and just be so proud being a Razorback. It's just really special.
I'll give the floor to the rest of the meeting.
Thank you.
Anybody else have questions?
Yeah, I have one just based off, just a second ago, you said, obviously it isn't ideal that you've lost some different looks with pitching just along the way with various injuries, but it seems like Morgan, it did allow the opportunity for Morgan to maybe show really what she's kind of made of. I think that it was Kylie after a game the other day just said, like, she wants to be in the circle. What have you thought about, I guess, losing those looks and then I may be learning along the way that Morgan can handle a lot?
Well, yeah, we knew that she could because she's been a workhorse, in her career. That's been who she is a workhorse. And, for her to take on the load that she did is incredible. And for her to just elevate her game from Friday to Sunday or Saturday to Monday and just be so committed and invested in giving everything she has to the team. There is not one pitch she doesn't throw where she doesn't give you 100% of whatever she has to offer for that pitch. She doesn't take a pitch off. And And so I'm really proud of her. She's a fighter. She's a fighter. Nothing's been easy for her. And so she embraces everything and she gives you everything she has. And she's done that for us all year, but in this stretch specifically, and the team just rallies around her. She gives everything she has to her teammates and to this team. And I love her. I'm just so glad she's a Razorback.
Any final questions for Coach Deifel?
I got one more. I just talked to Monica Abbott, not to name drop, but I was recording with her for a podcast. That's all.
That's a big name drop.
That's right. She's doing broadcasting now. She's on my side of the team now, on the media side, doing commentary there. But she told me something very interesting about when she mentored players, her team, fellow pitchers and things, and that one of the things she always told the coaches is kind of that, to being able to listen to what the pitcher is feeling, what she's thinking, because that's so important. Where did you learn that as you dealt with pitchers about, and maybe it was when you were a catcher, about hearing the pitcher and what they're thinking, how they're feeling, saying, and helping determine what you were going to do with that particular pitcher, what they were going to throw, etc.?
Well, I think that's absolutely the catcher side of, your job as a catcher is just to make your pitcher, that individual pitcher, their best version, and you're there to serve them. And as a pitching coach, you're in that same role. I think that's the unique nature of a catcher doing the pitching. Like, I grew up pitching. I went to did all the same pitching my sister did. I just was a catcher. I was a catcher by nature. And so when you take on that role, you're really just trying to make that individual pitcher their best version of themselves. And a huge piece of that is listening to what they need. And it doesn't matter what I think if they don't think it, if they don't feel it. It doesn't matter that I think Morgan's best pitch is her drop. If she doesn't think it, she's not going to throw it like it is. And so it's so collaborative. And a lot of it is just, getting that look of what's in their head, what makes them tick, what makes them their best. And then working with them in a way of, obviously they know that you're there for them. And so I think it's all of the relationship piece, and any relationship, the most important thing is listening.
Thanks.
Thanks, Coach Deifel.
Thanks, guys.